What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to La Vecchia Signora. I just wish we had something to talk about today. I got Lex and Omer joining me today. International break, always boring and dull. I mean, I wish we had something, hey?
Nothing.
That would
Absolutely
be
Yeah,
nice.
nothing. You want to
yeah.
talk about like other clubs or cover the Portuguese league? I saw an interesting story that one club is being investigated for animal sacrifices for witchcraft. I think it was
Yeah.
Boa Vista. Yeah, we can talk about that. We have
Oh,
yet to
no.
sacrifice animals at Juve.
Of course, we're going to talk about Motta getting the axe. Tudor being the one called upon. Wow. Wow. Big turn of events. Everybody was kind of waiting. Everybody wanted it to happen immediately after the last result. Well, it took a bit of time, and we're going to talk about it. Why maybe it took all this time and what we think about all involved. Not just the coaches, but everybody. Giuntoli, Scanavino, Sleepy Joe Ferrero, okay? And then Elkan himself. We're going to tackle it all together. And of course, we are going to look at the Azzurri in a big game today. All right? Do or die for them. And Spaghetti there is going to have to dial something up because he's got some key guys out. So we'll see what happens. We're going to have a lot of fun today, though, everybody. All right, chat's been on absolute fire, I see, leading up and build up to this. I'm just going to take the time to say what's up to all of you. Drop a like as you're in here. We are happy to have you all with us live today, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Omer, of course, with me. Omer, how you doing, brother? Ready to go? Ready to rock?
Yeah, phenomenal as usual. Let's go.
Beautiful. Lex, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks, Berto. I'm excited. Excited for this show.
There we go. There we go. We are not going to waste any time, everybody, okay? You're all fired up, and you're fired up for a reason. Motta gets the axe, and this is going to be made official in the coming hours, and that's been stated by Di Marzio, it's been stated by Fabrizio Romano, absolutely everybody, all right? I am seeing still those out there claiming that he was not given a fair shake, and that Motta is not the biggest problem at Juve currently. Well, Lex, is he or is he not the biggest problem? Was he given a fair shake, in your opinion?
All right. So, to answer the first part, is he the biggest problem? No, I don't think he was. I do think that the issues at Juve, and I think we can all agree on this, go beyond the coach. They go to the sporting director, Giuntoli, some mistakes that were made there. They go above that to management. And I would place most of the blame on management, ownership, and the way they've been running the club the past few seasons. However, whether or not Motta was given a fair shot, I would say he was certainly given a fair shot considering how much we spent in the Mercato, considering he's had a full season, and we honestly, the best part about his coaching this year was at the beginning of the season, and everything else kind of regressed from there. I feel like him choosing to have a falling out with some of our best players and losing the locker room, that was on him. So ultimately, I'm glad to see him go in that regard.
All right, all right. And we do have an early Storm the Barn saying, did Lex FC ever have Tudor in the list? He might have just a little too much hair still. He's got to go right down, right?
Yeah, he's not bald enough. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
he's hanging on still. He's still hanging on. So he needs to go right down before he's in the
No,
mix there for
old
Lex
enough.
FC. Um,
Not old enough. I never heard
oh,
any woman say that.
Omer, um,
Yeah.
was Motta given a fair shake? Is he the biggest problem in your opinion?
I mean, he's not the biggest problem. I've already said it in past pod that the issues are way bigger than Mota, and they need to be fixed. But it's harder to fix them mid-season. We've had that like 2 years ago, and it kind of shook the entire club the wrong way. But it does play a huge part in how Juve, the team, the players performed this season on the pitch. We knew that there were issues with the management, with the way the organization works and stuff. Fine, but the way Juve looked and reaching this point, and the only thing we can achieve is the bare minimum the bare minimum of everything that was expected from Motta, and we got kicked out of every other tournament, quite shamefully. Let's put it like that. So yeah, I mean, when it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. It's the tactics. It almost feels like he's been doing it out of spite. The players in their positions. I mean, it just doesn't work out. How many more red flags do you need? And I was a big advocate for Mota, but it ain't it. Sorry, I was wrong,
Yeah.
completely wrong.
I mean, the biggest problem, I don't think so, but he is a very big problem and was a very big problem. Um, Fair shake, I don't know. I've talked about this a lot. In the standard world of business, we have a 3-month probation period at your job where your employer can make a decision to axe you free of any severance or anything whatsoever, no ties, 3 months. Is that fair? I don't know. Sometimes life ain't fair, but I think he was given more than a fair shot. When it doesn't work, it simply doesn't work. And I think we can all agree it had to happen. It hasn't happened a lot, obviously, in the history of Juventus. He becomes the sixth, I believe, manager to be sacked mid-season. Only 5 coaches in 128 years have been removed during the season for technical reasons. Motta marks the 6th. The last one was Ferrara in 2009-2010. Now remember, Allegri was removed for non-technical issues. That was the famous Dove Rocchi meltdown in the Coppa Italia. So that frees Max from that list, all right? But Thiago Motta becomes the 6th. In terms of all the news we heard around how this went down, and again, this plays into the problem, or being the only problem, or the biggest problem. You've got a week's time. Like you're in the middle of international break. Everybody was looking for it to happen immediately. Obviously, they were looking at what they're going to do, which route they're going to go. You have rumors coming out that Giuntoli wanted Mancini and Elkan wanted Tudor. And they go this route. Now all of a sudden there's a bigger light shining on Giuntoli, like he has to go too. He's next, etc. But management, the calls from above, I mean, I can understand why it took so much time. Juve was trying to get the best available option for no commitment, which is the right decision, in my opinion. Try to get the best available takeover without locking yourself in, because you never know what's going to happen in the summer. And when it comes to Tudor, I'm going to be quite honest. Like, let's talk about this hiring first before we get into like management and everything. How do you actually feel? We talked about Motta getting his fair shake. How do you feel about the Tudor appointment on its own? We'll start with Omer, then get to Lex.
Honestly, I don't know what to make of it. He's a very young coach and had, I don't know, maybe 2 decent seasons under his belt. Um, I want to say it's interesting. I have no idea where it goes. I haven't followed him enough in his stints in Croatia and whatnot. I don't know what to make of it. Honestly, I have to see it on the pitch. It's not like a well-known coach that I can tell you exactly what his system is going to be and what we're going to see. But he is like one of the better options, let's say, right now in this period of time, that might accept no commitment and just finish now the season. Not a lot of options there, so I don't see. It's fine that he wanted Mancini, but he would have wanted probably some sort of commitment to continuing next season.
Yeah. Lex, your thoughts on Tudor?
Well said, Omar. Honestly, I was in the same boat as you. I was like racking my brain last night trying to think about it. I'm like, I really don't know like how to feel. I think I agree with you, Berto, 100%. Anything short term is ideal. I do not want a coach that's going to have an automatic commitment or automatic renewal, even if we make top four. I want it to be non-commitment, so that way the club can reevaluate in the summer. Things change. Who's going to become available? Who might leave their club? What direction does the club want to take going forward? I think that would be the smartest option. As for Tudor coming in now, I mean, I don't think that Juve has a lot of room to be picky about who's coming in, because honestly, it is quite the mess to pick up at this point, with
Yeah.
a very heavy task of still managing to finish top four, considering the way the table is right now. It's really tight. So, I mean, all the luck to Tudor if he does end up coming in.
Yeah, I obviously with the past and everything, I'm excited about that part because I've always loved Igor Tudor, always. But from a coaching perspective, there was a time where he was in that up and comer mix and I'd be all for it. And I was like, you know what? Like, let's do it. Let's get it going. Let's bring in Tudor. But now it's like there's been a couple jobs since that have kind of strayed me away from going that route. Now, speaking about this current moment in time, Juve DNA, he comes from the right era, etc. But he's very, very limited. He's very, very limited. And like I said, I don't have him high on the ratings in terms of alternatives. I really, really don't. Also, the way the team is kind of brought in guys, we might have ourselves a little situation. It'll mean we're probably going to be seeing some good buys. It's a strange one. For me, that automatic renewal has to be option. But would Tudor sign that? It makes no sense. So now everybody's thinking, okay, you get top four. It's also reported he's going to be our coach for the Club World Cup. And then there's an option for Juventus. So he was willing to sign without that being automatic. If you reach top four, you could still not have a guarantee. Seems kind of wild to me. I'm not going to buy it. I believe it's an automatic renewal. Now it's only 1 year. His cost is probably going to be fairly low as well. So did Juve make this signing with the intention that they would pay it out if that's the case, even if he does qualify for top four and then he gets his 1 year renewal? Maybe they did, which in turn still sounds ridiculous. And we have to wait for clarification because everybody, and I see Frank's in here saying no automatic renewal. It's not worded that way by Nico Schira, and it's not worded that way by Di Marzio, and Mirko Di Natale claims that it's automatic if he gets.
And by the
top
way,
four.
he turned down Napoli last season for the exact same reason. They wanted him till the end of the season,
Yeah.
and he wanted Arena. Yeah, it's tricky finding a coach in these times, and Juve want to give themselves some breathing room come the summer to look at options. Maybe it will be Tudor eventually if he does great. But Juve want to keep their options open. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah. And we got to look at, first of all, Bernardo, props again. Respect to this 17-year-old. We heard the interview with Mirko Di Natale. Okay, we're going to get to that a little bit later because there is a little bit of grinds my gears today that I'm going to get into. But this is the potential lineup we're looking at with Tudor. Well?
Yeah. Well, it's based on nothing, really.
It's based on him always playing 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, really.
Yeah, the formation, the positioning of the players, the chosen players. We'll probably see like a 3-4-3, I guess. That's how we always played. The players in question, I don't know. I mean, I'm missing a lot here, the way it seems right now.
Well, this is why certain people like these wingers and whatnot are going to be in question. But like, yeah, you're going to be... You're telling me Yildiz isn't going to be a part of being a mainstay and whatnot? Chico Conceição, Kolo Muani, their futures with Juventus could be done. This could mark kind of the end of it. But Tudor is robust in the middle. He wants his teams playing very, very strong. quick on the outsides, and then he usually likes the bigger guys up top too. So yeah, I don't really know. I'm not going to take much into this. All I'm going to say is this is kind of playing into my thing with 9 games. You can have your Club World Cup. We have to look at an alternative moving on. And I think we can all agree on that. Right, Lex? Lex, what do you think about that lineup when you see that?
It's certainly something. I mean, yeah, just the no Yildiz thing, it's concerning. I think, as you mentioned, with Tudor's play style as well as his setup, it kind of loses Yildiz there. So I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I've always loved the front three, especially for the squad that we have. So I think losing that, unless he does play a 3-4-3, would be interesting. But yeah, I think certainly just someone to caretake until the end of the season and then go from there.
Yeah. I would much rather prefer even something like this, 3-4-2-1, Yildiz, Coop behind the striker, even Cope Miners.
That's what I saw.
And let's see what happens. Let's see how he plays it out. But, there's a lot saying don't sleep on Tudor. Tudor, we can lock in and we could move into the future. I stand firm that we need to get serious. We need to get serious. I want the best available coach coming to Juve. No disrespect to Igor Tudor, but the history just ain't there. And I'm done with guinea pigs, and I'm done with experimenting. I'm done with projects, period. Stop fucking around is how I feel. Seriously. When we talk about stop fucking around, now we get into all these guys. We get into the Giuntoli talk. We get into Scanavino, Sleepy Joe Ferrero, Elkan. Look, it took a bunch of time to make this call. They were having all these meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings. This is a perfect indication for me of the main problem at Juve. When all this happened, and I've talked about this on a live show a little while ago, it started because the guys that were at the top lost sight and kind of started to slip up. And we started scrambling. The scramble started with Maurizio Sarri. That slob, okay? Plan D on the list. And then it was a spiraling. And now you got all these guys that are temps in here. And they're asleep at the wheel. Literally asleep at the wheel. It takes you this long worth of meetings to understand. And you have to have meetings with players as well to find out kind of what's going on to make your decision. That tells me that you don't have your fingers on the pulse of this club. So this whole thing shines a light on what I said months ago, back in November when people were calling for Motta's head. And I said, if Motta goes, I want a complete change in direction at the top, at the very top. These guys have been around and it's like they have no idea what's happening at the club. So those guys, those temps, you've done your job up until now. The numbers are where they need to be. Thank you. See you later. As far as Elkan goes, you can't steer a fucking ship when you're standing on shore. I want somebody that gives a shit, that's involved, that's actually actively there. He can keep his majority with Exor and everything, but we need somebody that's actively there. You cannot steer a damn ship from the shore. Period. As far as Giuntoli, I'll get into a theory on Giuntoli, everybody, but what do you guys think about just my thoughts on everybody at the top, and we need to clean house there before anything? Lex?
100% agreed. I was saying it yesterday in our chat. I was like, at this point, I just want everyone out. I don't think just changing Motta is going to make the big difference. It's going to make a difference, certainly, but I do think that the problem runs deeper than that at Juve, particularly, as you mentioned, Berto, with the ownership, their lack of involvement, lack of seemingly their interest in the club and what's going on. All the lunch meetings that happen, it just seems like a chaotic mess. And I mean, to be a fly on the wall during those meetings and just to really be able to see on the inside what's happening would have been really interesting. But I do certainly think that we need an involved owner back, someone who's going to be spearheading this project. And I always said too, is like everything kind of went downhill. You mentioned about the Saudi appointment. I would say when we lost Beppe Marotta, and I think we lost that sense of direction, that sense of leadership. Right now, there's nobody involved in the club that was involved in that like winning era, right? So I think we just like really we lost that sense of leadership and identity. So maybe Agnelli comes back. We need something to change up.
Yeah. And Omer, your thoughts at the top?
Yeah, they're temps. They didn't get their name, just because we're mean. We know they're temps, and okay, we know what were they brought in for. It's mainly the money, which they will accomplish by the end of the season if we make it into top four. But that's not like how management in football works. The aim should be completely different. I get that the money was the biggest issue. Okay, now it's sort of solved. You can't just shy away from every other responsibility you have, and it's holding everyone in the organization accountable and asking reports from J Medical and whoever. And it doesn't feel like it's being done at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they're doing. They really dropped the ball with the sponsor, because they could have hit that mark of money, like getting in the green zone even earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did what they needed to do. Let's put it at that. And now they have to go, all of them, except Giuntoli for me. But the rest.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to Giuntoli. So Elkan has been around for ages. It is Ferraro who is invisible. We need to replace Ferraro. Elkan's been around for ages, but not to this capacity. And that's the issue. That's the issue. If all of a sudden there's truth to these rumors of him making decisions, making calls, and these didn't just creep up. We also heard that even the sacking of Motta had to come from him. Did the hiring come from him and these clowns at the top as well? We're going to get into Giuntoli, and I don't think it separates any of these other guys, Ferrero, Elkan, etc., because my biggest question is, how the hell, you're a sporting director, and this shines a negative light on all involved, that it reached this point, to the point where you thought players are completely giving up on the pitch. We might have ourselves like a standoff almost with the players over this freaking guy. The fact that it comes to that point is insane to me. We said goodbyes to players. Danilo wasted no time in liking Fabrizio Romano's post on Igor Tudor becoming the new coach. He wasted no time. Probably the first like on that post. Listen, why does Giuntoli, how do we get to a point where he gave him so much leash, Motta so much leash, to where he was simply following, and for nobody around to have the fingers on the pulse of that locker room is a huge failure for all of these guys. Giuntoli, Ferraro, Scanavino, the guys that are there, and even Elkan from afar. The fact that it got to that point is a massive failure for all of them. But it makes me think of a theory. And I told you guys in the green room, like, it just makes me think, what if this call all along, because media tells us who's making the calls, but we don't actually know 100%. Did Giuntoli follow and give so much leash because it wasn't his hiring? Did he feel like he had to do everything possible for this guy because the call came from his bosses? I don't know. It's just weird to me how we got into that situation, and how apparently all these rumors come out that it needs to come from the other guys as far as if he gets fired, and now all of a sudden they're handpicking the alternative. What's the point of a sporting director anyways? And I'm not going to have Elkan make the friggin' call over any sporting director. He doesn't know shit. So it's wild to me. But as far as Giuntoli goes, he's got one more coaching hire, in my opinion, if that is even what he has. But I still say he did the task he was given the only way possible. So you got to look at the guys handing out the tasks. Because if you're president, if you're over and above that and we're giving away guys that you don't believe should be going on, why is that happening? I'm kind of with Omer. I'm still not on the get him the hell out train. Lex, should Giuntoli go?
Yes, I am on the get Giuntoli out train. Mainly just because of the decisions in the Mercato. And I understand, like, I completely understand the context. I know he had a difficult budget to work with. He had a lot of responsibilities to fix the imbalances in the books. I get that, for sure. But certain things like going in with a lack of center back depth, going into the season with one striker, we've talked about that. My issue as well is with the way he treated the academy players, getting rid of guys like, which, okay, maybe it also was the issue with Motta as well, with the Fagioli situation, Miretti, the Huijsen sale. Like, all of those have aged pretty poorly, in my opinion. And I just feel like, in my opinion, depends what you think of this. I feel like we had the players that we needed. We didn't need to go out and spend that money that we did. But you could also counter that argument that it was Motta who wanted those guys that Giuntoli went out to get. However, I just think overall the business, the loans we're now taking without like a renewal option on Renato Vega, on Colomuani, these guys we're going to have on contracts that he signed now, like Douglas Luiz, Coop Miners. I just feel like, in my opinion, Giuntoli made a bit of a mess after. He did well to balance the books, but made a bit of a mess afterwards, especially with that next-gen project that we had. But again, that was more Agnelli's baby, right? That was Agnelli's project, and he's gone. So now who's there to protect that group and that project? I don't know. So that's why, for me, I'd like Giuntoli out. I think the sporting director is everything to a club, That's why it's concerning, as you mentioned, Berto, if it was Alcan who's superseding Giuntoli's decisions, because ultimately, like, you look at guys like Beppe Marotta, Sartori at Bologna, they really make the project happen. So that's why I would say Giuntoli out for me.
Well, Omer and I are to keep him around just a little bit more. So Omer, I'll give you a chance to kind of have a rebuttal here.
I'm not the Giuntoli out, not now at least. I think he should get more than just one choice, and if that goes to shit, then that's it. Especially because we haven't been with like anyone serious for a long time. Arriva and all that shit, that was awful. So yeah, he got it wrong. Whether it's his choice or not, again, everything we said is just speculating. And maybe it was his choice, maybe it wasn't. He got it wrong. I would have probably gotten it wrong as well last season with how Motta performed with Bologna. But it didn't work out for Juve. I feel like Giuntoli has been just had everything thrown at him. The minute he signed, first Mercato, just you can loan one player, maybe two, and that's it. We don't have any money for anything. Summer afterwards, he signed like most of the best players in the league who are seriously underperforming. I can't fault him for them underperforming. It feels like he's putting out fires everywhere, mainly created by Motta. I imagine him like waking one morning and who did he get into a beef with now? Danilo. Oh, now Danilo wants to leave. I have to find a replacement for him. It sort of felt that way more than he wanted those guys out and 100% supported Motta no matter what he chose. But if the guy doesn't want to stay, he doesn't. So I think he gets one more shot of choosing his manager. I'm not looking at Tudor as a choice. This is just a Band-Aid till the end of the season, and then we'll check our options again. So no, not Giuntoli out for me, not yet.
This is a situation that is very difficult to make your kind of stance other than what we see at face value, but you can only make this knowing exactly what the hell's going on behind the scenes. And that's what scares me the most, because I don't trust the clowns that are actually there making these calls above Giuntoli. That's where I'm at, everybody. I really don't trust them. I really don't trust them at all. In terms of Giuntoli, I believe he accomplished the task he's doing. When you talk about players, when you talk about decisions made that you want to throw in his face, I stand firm. There was no other way to do what he was given as far as a task. To get the money to where it's at in that quick a time, yeah, you have to say some goodbyes. Some of them you might not want to. But there was no other way. You throw on top of that a laundry list of brutal contracts, weird renewals, all this nonsense that he's got to deal with on a just shit show that he was handed. Yeah, you might want to keep other guys. You might, one of Lex's points was we probably had the guys already, but there was circumstances around each and every one of those guys that would directly affect your future. Keeping Chiesa only to lose him on a free or break even and move forward. That's a decision you got to make. He would have been crucified for losing him for absolutely nothing in a year. You would have been all happy that he was here, sure. But then it'd be like, oh my God, we should have at least broke even a year before. Like, our finances are in trouble. Saying goodbye to some of the young guys, they're the only ones that were actually assets that had value to them. Where else were you coming up with that money? You could hand me all the names that were there. Rugani, DeScilio, Arthur Melo, Milik, etc. to sell. Is that going to chew up the numbers? No. We all know we would have been in the same boat. You would have just got rid of dead weight, but you would have accomplished nothing. It is what it is. The direction comes from above. Make no mistake about it. You've got rumors floating around everywhere around Elkin potentially wanting to sell more shares, people trying to buy in, and Yeli being one of them. He's trying to make it look good. Giuntoli was given a task. I want to see this guy work with the numbers right and maybe with a little bit of leadership above him from somebody that isn't falling asleep during the matches. Like, that's what I want to see.
We're missing a lot of passion, upstairs. It's just all financial, all the books, all about money. I don't feel like you're a Juve fan sitting up there.
And another guy that can get the fuck out and don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out is Calvo. You had one damn job to do with sponsorship. And we don't even have that yet. So you know what? He could take off too. But yeah, we've got problems. I don't think Motta was the biggest, but it had to happen. It had to happen. Now, top four. How confident are you that Juve reaches top four? Are you feeling much more confident about that? Or really the same as you were with Motta, but he just had to go? Like, where are you at with top four? Omer, have you gained confidence in reaching top four? I'm going to put it out to the chat in a poll here and see how confident they are. But Omer, go ahead.
I don't know, to be honest. It's really hard to tell. Like I've mentioned before, I haven't seen enough of him. I have no idea what to expect. He has about a week to prepare for the rest of the season, for the Genoa match at least. Let's see how that one works out, and then I can maybe say, they're just things we see on the pitch. Right now, I feel exactly the same way as I felt before. I don't know. I'm on the fence here. I have to see the team play a bit to feel positive again.
Lex, have you gained confidence now in top four, or are you at the same?
Wow. I mean, I certainly haven't lost confidence. I feel like keeping Motta to the end of the season would have been the worst decision. But I'm hoping some new coach bounce can carry us through the next few games. I still have my concerns. I'm just looking at the table now. Juve is currently in 5th place. Everybody has 29 matches played. Bologna's in 4th with 53 points. Juve's in 5th with 52. Lazio in 6th with 51. Roma in 7th with 49. Fiorentina in 8th with 48. It's tight. It's really tight. That is my concern.
It's tight.
Really. Yeah. There's not a lot of room, if not any, for error at this point.
I feel the exact same. I feel the exact same as far as this thing can go either way. But again, in terms of Motta needing to go, I can appreciate the club making the move because you have to try. I think we can all unanimously agree, other than some that were saying Motta wasn't given a fair shake, which to me is wild. But you have to take a shot at it. You have to try to spark something and get something out of this group going down the line. Keeping things the
Yeah.
same, it was just,
It, it was a corpse. Just
yeah.
whatever stepped on the field, it was nothing. It wasn't going to do
As
anything, and that's
as
just how
far
I felt.
as confidence for me, like maybe from like a 3 out of 10 on a scale of confidence, like I'm maybe at a 5 out of 10 now. Like it's still 50-50 and could go either way. One thing I will say about Tudor is I think this might be solid in the sense that we could probably weed out some of the guys that need to go in terms of the locker room. Because if there's one thing about Tudor, he runs a hard-nosed team. Like that's how he wants his team to play, is hard-nosed. He's going to be very demanding in training sessions. He's going to push these guys. He plays a physical brand of football. Like it's going to be completely night and day to what they were doing before. Obviously, this is going to play into confidence level. How is this team going to react? They were trying to play, a more modern style football, more beautiful, etc. It was a failure, but now they're going to be asked to play something completely different. His system is not complex by any means. It's very simple, which is what I think we need. He tries to be more motivated and driven out of what he gets out of guys, which is something we need. I think passion, I think fight and drive will go further than a complex game plan and trying to be pretty or trying to be cute or something. So those aspects are probably good because, we see some of the comments coming in here that if it fails with Tudor and we don't reach top 4, then it just tells you that Motta wasn't even the problem and the players were actually more the problem. The players, yeah, they have to take some accountability too, but I think Tudor will help us weed out the guys that need to go. Do you two agree with that?
Yeah, maybe. I think it's kind of an impossible job, like to leave the most positive, mark on the team in the span of 10 games. Is it 9 games now? Um, I don't know, to be honest. No, I don't know what to make of it. It really is a mystery. I mean, he did do well. He finished ninth with Verona. They finished 18th the season after. They finished 10th the season before with Juric, who actually did a great job. Marseille got him into the Champions League, third place, and that's basically almost all of his coaching career at a decent level. So he did get results the way I'm reading it, the way I'm seeing his career right now. But taking all that and putting all that in Juve and their problems and their management and where the club stands today, I mean, there's no guarantees. I can't go with that forward and feel too confident.
Yeah. Lex?
I hope we bring some grinta, as you mentioned, some mentality back to the group. I think like now I would turn the attention to the players. Okay, now, we got rid of the guy that you did not want to play for anymore, as it was evident. Now we've brought in someone in, like, let's see if they can still play for something, basically, right? So I would think I would turn my attention more towards the players, because at the end of the day, they still are a talented squad and need to pull it together to get the job done. I think it'll also maybe show who deserves to still be on the team and at the club come season's end, depending on how these next few months go, whether or not the team's able to pull it together and achieve top 4. And, that's even coming from leaders like Locatelli, Gatti. I don't know, can name a lot because, the captain's armband was going to everybody. But, I think I would put it on the squad now going forward.
Yeah.
I think it's just a lot less talk and a lot more action. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to spill anything about tactics and shit. He's just going to play the match the
Just
way he
play.
knows, and let's see if it works.
Well, that's
Get it
just it.
done.
In terms of, is it official? It is going to apparently going to be coming very, very soon. All right. Yeah, Tudor coming into Juve. Listen, for Storm the Barn, we just answered quite a few that had already come in general discussion, but feel free to fire away now with Storm the Barns kind of around that. Again, we did look at a lineup, etc. And yeah, I mean, this is potentially something that it could look like. People are asking,
so
will
let's
Vlahovic
say-
start? Will Kolomuani start? We all remember what Tudor's, how he spoke about Vlahovic previously, claiming at one point in time that he was the best striker in Serie A ahead of Osimhen. He's probably going to go that route. I don't know if the two of them will play up top. They'll probably get their shots, but I think you got to throw in a talented second next to Vlahovic. Maybe Yildiz will get that role. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. It's iffy for top four. I'm still iffy, but 78% believe yes, Juve reaches top four. To that 78%, I hope you are right, because we need it. Make no mistake about it. In terms of grinds my gears, we go back to Bernardo here, okay? No matter what, it's fino alla fine. And if there's one thing Tudor will do is at least he comes from the right era. The right era. With the right people around him and whatnot. There was a lot that said when Pirlo went, we should have just let Tudor run with it as he was the assistant behind. We heard about conflict between Tudor and Pirlo. Certain differences in ideas and philosophies, etc. But as far as this kid goes, man, 17 years old, never around for the worst section in the history. This kid's earliest memories are probably 2013 when things were just absolutely rolling. And amidst all of this, he stayed out there. He stayed out there, showed the thick skin, okay? And that he's not fair weather. And I loved every second of it. In a world where it's so quick and I read constant comments about I'm done with this team, I'm not supporting them, I'm out. I loved seeing this because for me, it's easy. Day in, day out. I even see content creators putting out posts that, oh, I can't do a video today, taking shots at the ones that are, even people that person has collaborated with because he just got lazy or felt sad or felt bad for himself. Listen, don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions about why people do what they do. Thick or thin, day in, day out, I ride or die with this club. Okay? Bravo, Bernardo. It's not when I feel like it or I'm sad. It's fino alla fucking fine. A reminder. All right? Now, we got other issues. The Azzurri. We will get to the Azzurri. Listen,
Oh dear.
I love that with Bernardo and everybody that puts it out there. Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get Bernardo. It's already in the works to try and get Bernardo on the show. I would love
Really?
to chat with him. All right, would love to
That would
chat
be
with him
cool.
about that and seeing people, you know, that have been through it all that didn't have the thick skin to sit there or stand there with him. Bravo to Bernardo and his father. His father who had left at that moment of the picture went there. That's just good parenting, okay? Bravo. Bravo. But we are going to try to get him on the show because I think he's a beauty, and that made me happy. Now, the Azzurri. Big game today. Big game today. You know? Will they get it done?
Yeah.
Will they get it done?
Oh,
What do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about this Azzurri, this Spalletti thing? Many said
What
he
a
should have
mess.
been gone after the Euros. Lex?
Too many Napoli players.
Oh!
Oh
Oh my God. Right as Dom comes in here. You couldn't have timed
Wow,
that
that was-
any better. Right as Dom comes in. Too
sorry,
many
Dom.
Napoli
I'm
players.
so sorry.
Lex, fire away with your thoughts on this
Like,
this Azzurri side.
I don't know if he's trying to like copy Conte with this 3-5-2, taking a lot of the Napoli players. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do. There's certain profiles that he's selected that I'm kind of wondering, why did they get called up? I think like every coach has their guys, every coach has their favorites. Spalletti certainly does. Certain guys that were performing that just didn't receive the call. Orsolini's one of them, who's a huge miss in my opinion. Yeah, looking at the squad, it was tough. The Germany-Italy game, the first half wasn't bad, but the second half was a tough watch. I don't know. Squad selection's a concern for me. I think that the Italian national team in general has issues with their lack of wanting to play youth and young players, but that is a whole nother issue that kind of overarches the league and the Azzurri. But yeah, certainly interesting from Spalletti.
Yeah, interesting is one way to put it. I think it's just the same as really anyone that gets himself into trouble as a coach. Not really adapting well. I think in-game management is probably the biggest thing with Spalletti that I see. And some questionable decisions, but it does play into that adapting or making the changes necessary. Kind of gets himself into trouble that route. But Omer, your thoughts on Spalletti and the Azzurri?
I know I'm in a weird place with the Azzurri. Whatever we had going on in the Euros was just shambolic, and I kind of lost interest because I'm an Italy fan, because I'm a Juve fan. I enjoy seeing Juve players play for the national team, and right now I don't think any of them even deserves to play in the national team. But I do still follow. I get why Spalletti is going with Napoli players. He knows them. He has a certain system he wants to play. When you have limited time to work with your team, it's easier to go with the guys you know, or with pairings that work out for certain clubs. So I get it. I hope they can turn it around. I don't think they're bad like they were in the Euros. I think they've improved massively, and they actually had some very good games that I enjoyed. And they can progress today. Like, I'm not ruling it out. Germany are not easy, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything can happen. I wanna rekindle that interest in the Azzurri. It kind of left me, and it actually makes me pretty sad.
Yeah. Does it's just a weird time with the Azzurri. This is a great message. Forza Juve showing you props, just saying not a question, but Omer appreciation. Consistently shows up
Thank
for
you.
shows almost every week. Also absolutely phenomenal when it comes to analyzing stuff both on and off the pitch. There you go. Beautiful
you.
stuff. Beautiful
Thank you very much.
stuff. Keep the Storm the Barns coming. You can direct them towards the Azzurri as well. We will just talk Azzurri a little bit more before getting into full-on Storm the Barn in terms of getting into potential lineups. Well, when it comes to Italy, this is a potential lineup. What, Lorenzo Luca with Retegui up there? And again, I don't expect to see this. There'll probably be some changes in there. Frattesi, Ricci, Tonali, Udogi, Bastoni, Bongiorno, Di Lorenzo, Bellanova out on that right. The Di Lorenzo third center back thing is where Spalletti might end up killing himself. For me, it just doesn't work. Him as a third CB is no chance in hell. Absolutely destroyed last time out as well. It's gonna end bad. Why not Gatti there? Shouts that Gatti could get the start today in that role. Why not?
That would be interesting.
I would.
Interesting. Well, the biggest shame here is that Bastoni and Calafiori kind of occupy the same position. Because they are, for me, the two best Italian defenders right now, and I don't know, I haven't seen them play together a lot. It's mainly Di Lorenzo. I don't know if Frattesi is going to play. I'm actually less worried about the midfield and the attack. I think
when I look at the back, you're right. With the Calafiori Bastoni thing is kind of awkward when you're playing that back three. Bongiorno needs to be in the heart for me. He needs to be squared up in the middle of the back three. Then you get into this issue with Bastoni, Calafiori, what's going on the right side. But I have no problem with a guy that's left-footed playing out there on the right. I think way too often people talk about this and this left-footed, right-footed stuff. I have no problems with it. If it's got to be Calafiori one side, Bastoni on another, or you got to even split them up, you do it. But Buongiorno needs to be in the heart, for me, of the back line. Are we agreeing on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Buongiorno needs to be there. He's been great at Torino, and he's doing great at Napoli, to be honest, defensively.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's this 3-5-2 doesn't sit well with me for Italy. I don't think it plays to the benefits of a lot of the players on this team.
What would you like to see, like, how would you line us up with the personnel available?
Still, 4-3-3, that's my go-to. That's my favorite lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe Di Lorenzo on the right. I still think we have, too many left-footed defenders, both fullbacks, and not enough on the right. Cambiaso got injured, so he heads back to Italy, so he wouldn't be part of it. But if he is available, I would probably go and try to normalize Bastoni and Calafiori together in the center of the defense. Just start working on that. And then Udogi, Di Marco, Cambiaso, whoever. I don't mind Di Lorenzo as a right back. I think he's actually very good. Positionally, and experience does go a long way. The rest, pick a bunch, whoever. Rovella, Ricci, Lucatelli, Barella, Tonali are a must.
Yeah.
The rest, you can work around with it depending on the opponent and how you want to play. Lorenzo Luca, maybe, I don't know, maybe he wants the height. Maybe he wants the physical presence, the aerial presence against Germany in the center. So, yeah, that's what I would do. I wouldn't have a set system. I would try out different things.
Just make sure you give that guy the penos. Lex, what do you want to see them? How do you want to see the Azzurri lineup?
I can understand why a 3-5-2 is enticing because of having a back three, especially with Bastoni, and a wing back with Di Marco when he's there. But I agree with Omer completely. I would like to see a back four. There was also a comment about Calafiori at left back. Di Lorenzo could play on the right. I would look towards the attack. I think that Italy, their strongest point right now is their midfield. Tonali was incredible if you watched the last game. Barella's incredible. The midfield is set, so we can run a 3-man midfield, no problem. Should not have any issues. I think we need the extra numbers in the attack. I don't have the confidence in the striker options right now to play 2 strikers. I think Italy's had a generational striker issue, with even now with Scamacca being out, but just in general, there's been a weakness at that position for a while. I know Rettegui's up in the ranks now and, got Lorenzo Luca in the mix, but I don't have that confidence in that 2-man striker system. For me, personally, I would like the front 3. And I know people have asked, well, who would you play on the wing? But like I said, guys like Orsolini left out. I think you've got Zaccagni you can play on the wing. I think that it would just offer more depth in the attack for the squad.
Yeah, I can totally understand the issue Spalletti find himself struggling with because it's at the back. It's totally at the back because Bastoni in a back 2 sucked in the games we did it. Like, he was brutal. And even when he's in the heart of the back 3, he's not that good. You've got Scalvini plays a back 3. You've got Calafiori that gives you the flexibility to kind of do a back 4. Di Marco, is he going to be as effective as just a straight up fullback? We never saw that when it was attempted. We saw a lot of influence that was lost and impact that was lost. So he's got like this thing he's battling with. What's going to be better for the overall? The midfield remains, I think, the strength of the group. Ricci, Tonali, Barella is a sick midfield, in my opinion, and has all bases covered. It's at the back where the question marks come, and that's where Spalletti really needs to figure things out. In terms of up top, Rettegui's the guy. Rettegui's the guy by a landslide. If you go 4-3-3, that needs to be that top spot. For the wingers, well, it's a little light there too, in my personal opinion. Yeah. So I could see this push for the 3-5-2 based on it helping supporting your back line and kind of weak options at wingers.
Makes sense.
It's tough.
Some suggestions for a 3-4-3, but I think personally you lose out with a 2-man mid. Not that I don't think the squad could do it, but I think it would be because of our center midfield depth, it would be unfortunate to only play 2 on the pitch. I think it's a tough position he's in. Yeah.
It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. We always talk Azzurri. Everyone's talking about this kit. I got a lot of comments on this kit. Okay, of course, 94 Roberto Baggio. Didn't end the way we wanted to, but Baggio, this was unreal. Early memories for me. Okay, they start around there for Juve and the Azzurri, but people saying they want the 06 kit. Well, I got it here. We were going to talk about some of the best Azzurri kits ever, in our personal opinion, just having some fun around the Azzurri. Lex, what's your personal favorite Azzurri kit?
So I was thinking about this last night. There's been a lot, but for me, I'm going to have to go with the 2006 kit just because of obviously what came with it that season. It's gorgeous, the gold accent. Like, I just absolutely adored those kits. My noni, when they went to Italy that summer, they bought me and my brother, like those like unofficial versions. I've got like all the guys, Alberto, Cannavaro. I got Pirlo.
A panino and a kit for $10. Those are the best.
I love them. Yeah, they don't fit me anymore, unfortunately. I was 5, but that would definitely be my favorite.
Yeah, this is a beauty. I have one framed, badged up, World Cup, everything signed by the one and only Del Piero. But this is definitely up there. But I'm going to be quite honest, everybody. I hated this kit. I didn't like it when it came out, and I was like, it's kind of weak. I think the memories and the squad make this kit. On a standalone kit, I don't think it's really up there. It's the memories. But Omer, is this one of your best? John, don't wash your mouth out.
Yeah.
Listen, I just saying, Omer, is that one up there as one of your best?
Yeah, absolutely iconic.
But because of the memories, because of what happened in it.
I actually think it's beautiful. I'm not there with you. I actually think it's but
I'll see myself out, everybody. Great show.
Oh, wow.
I have this one.
Nice.
With
Ooh,
yeah.
Very
that's a
nice.
good one.
It's awesome.
And that's the only one I have.
I love it.
Again, not a great kit collector, sorry.
Obviously, this is one of the tops. I think 06 will go in there as one of the top. Relax, everybody. Memories play a part as well. I had some other ones as well. I think when the Azzurri dropped, when Kappa came out with the combat kits, were just stunning. I have the white, like, it's just so simple. Cap on the sleeves. They had the stars right there on the sleeve. Like, this is just class. Blue or white, like, just beauty. That's how simple it's got to be. Just a beautiful, beautiful kit. I think these ones have to go in. We won the Euros with them, but I think these were just stunning. This was a stunning Azzurri kit with the pattern inset on it.
The Renaissance kits, like even the green one, I don't think we wore it many times or ever in a game, but that was a great collection. Yeah.
These were just beautiful. This is a beautiful, beautiful kit. And of course, Giorgione. Okay. And then I will say this, for a special limited, this thing is pure fire. Okay. Absolutely unbelievable with the 125th anniversary. So, those are personal kind of favorites there. But yeah, the Azzurri have a long list. What about the worst Azzurri kit? For me, it's easy. You guys remember that Puma one with the body outlines with the abs and the pecs that were built into it?
Yeah.
Easily the worst.
This one?
It had the white. No, it had the white abs and chest actually detailed in it with white lines. That was easily the worst one.
What year was that? You
with
remember?
the I want to say it was 2010, but it might have been 08.
I have I
I
don't have like
totally.
a catalog in my mind of the worst kits. I barely have a catalog of the best kits. But there was a time like in the 90s where it seemed like everyone was wearing extra large in
Yeah.
terms of size, and it made everything look awful. It
Baggy.
doesn't matter how beautiful the kit is.
You
Yeah.
didn't like the baggy look?
No, no, absolutely not.
Oh man.
Do we think that the memories associated with the kid or like how it went that season or that tournament play a role in how we
Absolutely.
feel about a kid?
That's what's killing me
Absolutely.
about this year's third kit, which is one of the best kits Juve has ever had, and this season is murdering it for me, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, like is it possible to look at a kid objectively after the season's been played? I don't think so. I feel like it does play a role, like subconsciously in how I feel about a
Well,
jersey.
well, that's one. Like the third kit this season, regardless of how the
Yeah.
season goes, is just an absolute beauty.
Yeah.
But like
98 Azzurri was a great kit. Yeah. But you're
the
right.
pink, the pink red star is absolutely awful, and I love it. I I adore it because of the memories.
I love the
Because of the
bubble
memories.
kit.
I wore
It's
that
not for
kit the
design.
last time Juve won, and Alex Juve keeps telling me I got to go back to it and keep that
Yes.
going the entire time. But memories definitely
I'm
play
all
a
for
part in kits when you're ranking them and everything. So, yeah, as far as the Azzurri go today, potentially a watch along. So, if there's enough interest, I could probably rock it. So, all of you, let me know if you want an Azzurri watch along. All right, we're gonna get to Storm the Barn with the news of Motta, everything that's going on. We'll see, but let's get into this. Motta plays. Okay, so BB coming in. Motta plays a Champions League semifinal before Juve does. Read this out loud. I want to hear some controversy. Will this happen? Will Motta reach a Champions League semifinal before Juve does? Yes or no, Lex?
Okay, first of all, I love the ending. That was hilarious. He just wanted to stir the pot. But, well, I mean, like, it's certainly not uncalled for. Like, just because he failed at Juve doesn't mean he's going to fail wherever else he goes. I think, like, he still did succeed at Bologna. But I think it's interesting to note that because Bologna has continued that success this season, despite losing some key players and with a better coach, obviously, Italiano, but still, that the project was better. So maybe if he goes to a more established project versus what we've had at Juve, I don't know. Maybe he does do a little better. Like it's possible. It's certainly possible. I think. Like I don't think I would count him out just yet. But
There's a lot of factors that play into it and everything, but I'm, one of those guys that believes that just because you failed at one point, it doesn't define you for the rest of your career, right? If anything, Motta needs to look at this whole situation, how things played out, how things went, and he needs to better himself. And if
yeah,
he does that, yeah, he could be solid if he can right all the wrongs that went down. Yeah, he could be solid. His ideas are good. The execution was terrible. And the
look
man
at
management
Gasperini.
is ultimately what failed. And I think he's learning very quickly that something I said on the show many times, the man management doesn't take a back seat to your tactics, to your philosophy, to anything. Man and management is arguably has to be the strongest component if you want to be a top coach. So
Mhm.
for me, it won't define him. And yeah, it could happen if he finds himself at the right project. But Omer?
You know, yeah.
Oh,
Go, Omar.
sorry,
Go.
Lex.
No, no, go
Lex,
first. It's
go ahead.
okay. You didn't
La-
get to talk
la-
yet.
Ladies first. Go ahead.
Oh no. Okay, I'll be quick. I was gonna say, like, look at Gasparini, like where he failed, and look at him now. So I think, like, certainly you can't like count him out. I actually put it out, but I think he would actually be suited to go to Atalanta. Honestly.
Hmm?
All right, that's it.
Yeah, well, the main issue with Motor right now is his stock. I mean, basically the same 4 to 6 teams reach the Champions League semifinal every year. And do you see Mota going to any of them after that season? Like he needs a sort of a reset to his career. Like you said, managing a dressing room is pivotal if you want to be a top tier coach at big clubs. And if you can't do that at Juve with the guys we have, I'm not sure he's going to handle any Mbappe's and those guys. So I hope he does some reflecting and kind of trying to figure out what went wrong for him, what he could improve on, and not stick to his stubbornness that we've seen at Juve. He's not done by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it'll take 2, 3 more years till another big club takes him. It could be like a project for Milan or whatever, but then again, then we're not talking about Champions League finals and stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how things play out. But yeah, he's definitely got to go back to the drawing board a bit, and it's fine. It's happened to some solid coaches too. All the
Yeah,
best have failed
absolutely.
at some point. Like, I mean, it is what it is, right?
I remember Conte getting trashed by Juve when he coached Atalanta like 5-0, 5-1, and I think he was demoted. I'm not sure, to be honest. But it happens. Like coaches fail; they can improve. It's a longer career than you have as a player, so a lot of room for improvement.
That's how you separate who's legit and who's a fraud.
Most
It's like
most
if
are
you
not
fail and
Mourinho
you
or
come
Pep.
back,
Mhm.
that's
I
that's
mean,
what you want to see.
most coaches are not Mourinho or Pep that are just sensations from the minute they start coaching.
Yeah.
It's just not. You got to go through, the tough route. So yeah, Ancelotti went through it. Klopp went through it.
Yeah. Can we get a Forza Venezuela? I'll gift 100 memberships if we make it to the wow. So that's live now and it's out there. 100 memberships. Okay. Forza Venezuela. Unless you meet Canada and we have to beat you again. Ooh, had to put that out there for you, RB. Had to
Wow.
put that out there. RB got a little spicy after that Canada defeat. But yeah, good luck. Good luck. Has anyone noticed how many Inter players skipped their national call-up with an excuse of injury? How
Yeah, I
about that?
heard DeMarco, like, if DeMarco gets taken with the Azzurri to this international break, like, all hell breaks loose for Inter against the FIGC because he's close to injury. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, wish we could have done that. And then
Yeah.
some players, yeah, you're not going. I mean, taking Cambiaso, that's a spit in our face. He was just
I was
almost
gonna
treachered
say.
off in the last match.
Cambiaso obviously left the Italy camp. Calafiori left as well. There's a lot of people quiet about that. If we would have spent 50 million, I don't know if you've checked the injury tracker on that guy this season. Just saying. Just saying. All right,
Poor
take it
guy.
easy.
That was a
Take.
crazy freak accident. That slip. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looked pretty
I
pretty
just.
rough. That guy's already done both ACLs too. He's just yeah, yeah.
Terrible.
It's
Poor guy.
not something that would have been good for us and J Medical. Just yeah, wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't have been good. I think even with his lack of minutes, Fede should have been called up for Italy. Thoughts? Yeah, Federico Gatti is there, my friend. He's there. He will be playing. I know, Swery, you mean Chiesa. I know, I know. Omer Lex, Chiesa should be there.
Yes and no. Yes, because he's Chiesa, and we all view him as this wonderful, phenomenal magician who could at any moment, uh, turn a match on its head. But
Take it easy. He's here with us. This is right
I,
here.
yeah, sorry, Mister, but I don't know. The season hasn't gone all too well. Lack of minutes. Maybe he should have been chosen just because he doesn't play. But um, I don't know. If you're Italy's coach right now, do you take him?
I do.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Okay.
I
But it's
Okay,
just
just,
a.
that's
again,
reasonable.
that goes back to the weakness of the other guys like wingers that to play there. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm still picking him over those guys.
Some of
Yeah.
them. I think Zakani is having a brilliant season. One of the best players in the league this season. So he's kind of a lock for me. Politano, I mean, he does work super hard, and I guess he wants it. Spalletti, that's what he wants. Orsolini, too bad he's not there, but I don't know, maybe on the right. Zakani is a lock for me. The rest we can debate, and Chiesa falls into that category.
I think
Yeah,
it
I don't
depends
know.
on shape. Like if he's running the 3-5-2, does he really call him? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that maybe plays a role in it too, right? If he was playing a front three, then okay, maybe he would make the call, right? I don't know. I think that also
My
makes a
top
difference.
three wingers like Orsolini, Zaccagni, Chiesa right now. I'm sorry, Politano like works hard. I mean, that should be a bare friggin' minimum. We need and like we do this with Juve all the time too. This guy works hard.
Hmm.
Fuck, okay. Like I mean, if they're not working hard, Jesus Christ, it's starting to bug me with this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
When
I
I
think
say
he should
work hard,
stay.
I mean extra hard than the usual requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like
Not
it's
like,
a
yeah.
right, it's sort of a right winger in a 3-5-2, so it does require a lot of work down the flank, which Chiesa won't do. Like we
Yeah.
complained about it nonstop when Chiesa was played in that position.
Donali to Juve. Do I see? When I pray, I do. I mean, Jesus, I would sign me up. Sign me up. Mark says Juve Gatti, Cambiaso, Vega, Conceição, McKennie, Wea, Colomuani, Cope Miners, Vlahovic, Yildiz, Gonzalez. 11 players called up. Your review so far. Yildiz played as a 10 and did fantastic. Who would have thought? Wild. Wild stuff. Cambiaso we haven't seen, got sent back. Gatti sent back. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched a lot. Gonzalez actually, what got? Did he get sent off or
He
something?
had that high
Yeah,
boot. Someone tagged me
yeah,
in it,
yeah,
and I didn't know if he got a red or not. That
Yeah,
was
so he
crazy.
got. I think he got
he
sent
did.
off, and now he's been sent back to Turin as well. I mean, Vlahovic, I heard was invisible.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see that. There's a lot going on, but yeah, it's not really. There's not a whole bunch going on with our guys so far on international duty. Other than Yildiz had a great game in
And
that 10 role.
Adzic is killing it apparently.
Adzic, and it's funny because we even get into this in our army chat because Lou and I usually see eye to eye on a lot, but with the Adzic thing, he goes, I just never really expected to see him whatsoever because of where he came from. And I said, regardless of where he came from, regardless of age, you've had a team literally searching for a 10 and somebody that they are confident in playing in that role. This kid is it and never got a shot. He got cameo minutes here and there. And our coach at that time, this is one of the frustrations I had nothing but praise for this guy. He gets the first team. Well, if that's going to be the case, get him all the minutes he needs in next gen. But you could clearly see he's a cut above everyone in next gen. So it's either like he gets his first team minutes, you see what you have there, and you prep him for a loan in Serie A next season or something. But it's one of the things that's highlighted with Motta. But Adzic is crushing it, crushing it. The next lead sponsor for Juve. All we're hearing is that by Club World Cup should be announced and that they have found the lead sponsor. A lot of rumors surfacing around Tether and whatnot, but according to Paolo Ardoini, their CEO, he's saying there hasn't been much discussion at all. So let's see what Calvo took an entire year to get. Let's see. Motta to replace Merda at Inzaghi at Merda. Yeah, I mean, let's go for it. I hope it goes just as well as it's gone for Juve. I actually hope it goes worse. Okay, for God's sakes. Let's keep things rolling here. Look for some more. Do you want to keep Tudor if we get top 4? Do you want to see him remain? Get that 1-year option and move forward. Lex, he comes in, he gets top 4.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on it. Obviously, we haven't even seen it play out, so I think we do need to see that first. But it's tough. I think we've seen clubs make errors where they've hired someone for the purposes of being an interim, and then they do well in that first period. So then they renew them or they sign them on a longer contract, and then everything goes downhill. So I feel like we've seen that story a lot. So I would say, like, stick to the original plan no matter what. depending whatever contract he ends up signing from the club. Stick to that plan. Don't change your mind. Even if he makes top four, stick with your plan.
Okay. Omer, if we got top four, keep him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna echo what I said. It's not even officially the Juve coach anymore, and I don't. I have to see the matches. I have to see how the team plays. Like even not tactically, just the mentality. If anything change, or we're getting the exact same thing. Let's see how. I mean, those games have to go super well, too well even for me to say, yeah, absolutely keep him, no matter what. I've seen something that we're not gonna get.
I'm I'm gonna sound like a complete asshole, and you know what? That's fine. No, even if we get top four, even if you're playing good, I'm sorry. History with this guy, and of course, it doesn't dictate the guy forever in his career or whatnot, but it shows he's got a good stimulus at start. It fizzles out very, very fast, and then you're done in a very short period of time. He's got a lot of short stints at all his spots. I am dead set. Get the best available candidate at this moment in time, even with the names we've heard as possibilities. Tudor is not that guy. And I understand that people can say, just like Nizin here is saying, you cannot decide now already. I can. I'm done with the maybes, the what ifs, the like. You have to get it locked in, not just at coach, but we need serious guys at the top. You need a complete restructuring. This is a temporary safety net interim basis. And I believe it should be. And I'm sorry if I come off like a prick or whatever, or that's not fair. That's how I feel. I want a guy with a serious CV, because I think Juve needs to start getting serious. We need to stop cheaping out. Period. It's rough. It's tough. It's brutal to say. I get it. It's how I feel.
It's mainly hypothetical right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't have a real clear. As things stand, no.
I agree. I agree with both of you. Like I said before, stick with your plan. Don't extend the interim beyond what his job was.
Yeah. You're that's just it. Coming in to just save the day and whatnot. For 9 games and a Club World Cup while they figure out what they want to do. If this isn't what they want to do long term, stick with your plan. But again, who the hell's plan is it? And what the hell are they going to do? I know you all want Conte in next. I don't. I prefer something more long-term, and Conte isn't a long-term guy. We'll end up signing his guys, then have to do it all again when he leaves. Will we? Will we, though?
I mean...
First of all, we don't even know
isn't-
if Conte is going to open up to this move. Okay, so we're going to talk at this portion of it completely as hypothetical, because Napoli's going to have a good chunk of money, and I believe they're going to do the smart thing, which is commit to him through the Mercato and spend a healthy amount out of that, whatever 200 million that they have, okay? In terms of hypothetically, if Conte were to come in, why would it be bad if you're in a building period to bring a guy that's literally has a history of doing exactly that and in quick, immediate fashion? Even if it's 2 years, you're better off than you were before. As far as the Mercado goes or the players go, you're still fine. We never had any issue whatsoever transitioning out of Conte to Allegri. We didn't have any problems with it.
No, I don't think there's such term as long term right now in football, especially at big clubs or clubs who aspire to go all the way in the Champions League. Let's be real, we don't really have that time. We all want it before it happens, and then when things go sideways, we want them out immediately. At the end of the day, you gotta do well in your first season and be even better in your second. That's the way to get more than a 2 year at a club. I mean, signing Allegri for the 4-year contract was a mistake. He should have been, tested or under the microscope after 2 seasons. Then let's see if we extend his contract. I just don't see it happening in any club. Those are just words. If things don't go well, everyone can get sacked. And we as fans don't have the patience for long-term projects right now.
Yeah.
I think Dell still raises a good point about like something we saw happen at Inter and kind of happened at Juve in a way as well, where you kind of can get saddled with his older players on longer contracts after when he leaves. And he's kind of had a bit of an explosive falling out now, Conte, where he's gone. But I know he would bring that mentality back immediately, which is why it's an attractive option. Is it? I don't know. You said that you're all Conte in. I don't think I necessarily am. I still want to see who's there in the summer. I'm sorry. I know.
Who's your pick, Lex? I want to hear. You can hand pick your choice. Who is it? You're gonna say Italiano.
No. I think for his career, he needs to stay at Bologna for a bit longer. He needs to continue that project there. He's got a project set up there. He's got a great sporting director. In his interest, you need to stay there. Berto, you're my pick for the next coach.
Lex knows what's up. Omer said, "What?" Omer?
No, I'm taking Luca.
Oh my goodness!
Luca Natala is the equivalent of Sleepy Ferraro. Okay, that guy can't even make the chat and the morning shows because he's still in the fetal position, sucking his thumb.
I know. I want the signs in the stadium calling for his head. I don't want him to succeed. I want him to fail. Yeah.
Luca
out.
That's
Luca
crazy.
out.
Oh
I love it.
days.
I love it. I love it.
No, my
Great
pick's
stuff.
undecided.
On a serious note, though, who would you hand pick?
Hand pick. So, like, anyone.
Yeah,
Did they have to be available?
This is completely fantasy. No, you could hand pick your coach. Who would you want?
I think Klopp.
Klopp?
Still in the Klopp train. I think it brings like ideas that are new to the league. He's fresh. He's done extremely well. I think like I would love to play his style at Juve, especially with our players. Yeah, I don't know, but I think that's highly unrealistic, unfortunately.
Omer, you can hand pick.
Yeah, I think Klopp is the right answer for me too. Just because he can make do with what he has, and he can demand certain players for his system. I mean, his achievements can't be understated. And I really like him. I just think he's a great guy who sort of rallies the entire team around him and give him that feeling of us against the world. And I know it shined brightly in Dortmund and Liverpool. I don't know. I like the guy. I would have taken him. Maybe he's past his prime. Maybe it's not the time to take him. But looking at options, realistic options, Conte. Unrealistic, Klopp. And even Conte is not that realistic to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I'm going to go with the slightly unrealistic, it'd be Conte. Out of the other guys, fuck, I hate to say it because I really don't want, but out of the realistic options, might be that old bastard with the steroids.
Don't say it.
I'm serious. It might be Gasp. Gasparu. Gasparu Cuglietta, okay? Gasperini, it might be him. But you know what? Let's just take it easy for now and let's see how things play out. But it does appear that, and yeah, crazy. I know. You're calling for Tuchel, though, Alex P., who is tied down to the England job, just to remind you. So that would be in the unrealistic category, okay? But if Gasperini brings the juice, come on. A team that's had problems with injuries, J Medical, just bring some of the juice. And you know what? Bring that sporting director over too, Lex. You said it.
Yeah, Giovanni Sartori. Bring him. Steal him from Bologna.
Let's go. Must be good news for you. See you at the Club World Cup. Yes, we will. How is Bremer doing? Bremer's doing very well. There are talks that he could potentially be back just before Club World Cup, but I'm in no rush to see this guy. Take your time. The way this season has unfolded and everything, take your time. And if he's got to sit out Club World Cup, hey, that's fine. We'll have a spot for him in the Juve fan sectors where he can come and enjoy a draw against Alain in the States there. No, the draws should be over. Knock on wood. Okay? Draws should be over. Not only Danilo, but now Fede has liked the Tudor post from Romano. Yeah, that guy was really hated by some players. Man management.
Too.
You know?
Danilo, #1 hater. I respect
Remember
it.
Yeah.
Sarri's goodbye, and there was only 2 players that actually cared to take the time to post anything. One was Dybala. Who was the second? Who was the
Dybala,
second?
#1 professional.
Who's
No
take
idea.
it easy, Lex.
Oh, probably Rabiot.
Well, it wasn't Rabiot.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think he was busy with the ladies of the night there, Adrian Rabiot. I don't think it was him. Giratina said, do you expect a big response for the Genoa match I'm attending? I'd be honest. I hope so. But who knows? Like, I mean, Jesus, this team hasn't reacted all year. So can Tudor do it? Hopefully. I will kill myself if Conte brings Lukaku. Do not have to do that. You don't have to worry about that. All right, maybe, but definitely don't get to that point. Come on, take it easy. Klopp or Conte if you had to pick. Lex says Klopp.
Klopp.
Omer, Klopp.
Yeah, Klopp. Just because returns haven't worked out so much for us. Trapattoni's second stint wasn't as good. Lippi's second stint wasn't. Allegri's wasn't. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything, but I don't know. There's just feeling of.
Man,
I think
this one I can't go with this one right away, but I would give the edge to.
It's a tough one.
Struggling over there, aren't
Look,
you?
Klopp's last salary was massive. I don't think we can afford him, even if it was an option. Like,
but if it
what
was, if
like?
it came down to both these guys, I mean,
It's really hard to choose. What's the opposite?
the funny
of
thing
Peter
is
Poison?
they're similar in a way that when things are bad, like the excuse train comes just rolling down the tracks at lightning speeds. Klopp could probably give you something more long term and whatnot if it was between guys. We know Klopp's not coming. This is a hypothetical. Relax. It's just a storm the barn hypothetical. I would probably give the edge to Klopp.
The funniest part is neither of them are coming.
Because I wouldn't go. Conte is the only one right now. After I said I would break my rule for, which is no more returns. Okay. Tudor's a return, by the way. Okay. Tudor's a return. Pep or Conte?
Oh my goodness.
Pep or Conte? Same hypothetical, different coaches.
No,
I
we
don't
don't
know.
have the
Now Pep looks like he's going through some shit. I mean, every photo I've seen of him, he looks.
Does he have any skin left on his scalp? I'm
don't
going
know
Conte.
anymore.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot cheaper to keep Conte happy. Okay?
True.
Yeah. Alberto going to the game. We'll see a special collab. Awesome. Yeah, there's going to be some AJC events going on too. So everybody stay tuned. Tudor starts Luis and at halftime subs him out to play in his position. Bring back player managers. Jesus. Tudor goes in. Player managers. Who was the last player manager in football? Okay, I'm trying to think. But I know that Vialli did it for a time, right?
yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Wait. Oh my God,
Vialli actually won
wasn't it like
trophies as a
Rivalry?
coach manager. with
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Vialli
Rivalry
won
at
trophies.
Salernitana?
Who?
Rivalry at Salernitana?
Was he a coach? I don't.
He was
remember.
coaching?
He was a player coach. I swear. Let me look it up.
No.
Okay, look it up.
No.
Yeah,
Wow.
but
I swear he was a player coach, or he was like playing and then like transitioned to also coaching at the same time. I think I'm correct. Can anybody verify in the chat? Nobody else cares about Salernitana, apparently.
not after that 2-2 draw. We were
Everybody's saying
gone.
the same thing. Pep, it's got to be Pep. He'll win you all these trophies. Well, if you could commit financially to him, I tell you what, it won't be with Elkan. So if
Yeah,
all of a
the
sudden we
issue-
got, if all of a sudden FFP doesn't matter to us and we could spend all, then yeah, go with Pep.
Yeah. How much money did he spend on defenders until he got it right?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to put the poll question in here. We'll see. See how everybody feels about it. And do you have a storm in the barn we didn't get to, Omer?
No, it's pretty boring in the international break. Okay. Wait. Okay, I think Lex has one. I have to like formalize my question.
Okay, Lex, did you find what you were looking for Rivalry?
I'm still on the search. He was playing and then was hired as like a fourth assistant coach or something. Something along those lines. I don't know why I like remember evidently that he was like being a player coach, but so I didn't really find it, but
Yeah.
do I have a question? Storm the barn question.
So new news coming in is it's all like everyone's just pretty much confirming Igor Tudor, new Juventus coach, contract until June with an option to renew for another year in the event of qualification for next season's Champions League. The announcement for Thiago Motta's dismissal will arrive in a few hours. That is Di Marzio. Tudor expected to arrive in Turin tonight. Tomorrow, he will be the one conducting training in view of the match against Genoa next weekend. With him on the staff will be Javorcic, former Südtirol and Venice, who had been at Lazio last year with Tudor as a collaborator. He will play the role of assistant coach. Wow. The deal is structured so Juve can look at other possibilities for the bench this summer while having the fallback of the Croatian just in case. It's shocking to me that Tudor accepted this. That's actually shocking. It's good for us because it's all in our hands, but it does appear that only until June he is the coach with the option for next season, only becoming a possibility if Juve qualifies for 25-26 Champions League. So it is just a full-on option. I'm shocked he accepted that.
You know
I am
what?
shocked he accepted. Yeah.
I respect it. Like he's banking on himself to do well enough that he'll get the option. I mean, I respect that. That's crazy though. Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, he's putting everything at risk because if it goes sideways, goes bad, it's just another notch that kind of hits him on his thing. Or you could look at it on the flip side. He had the balls to stand in there and come in this moment for 9 games and like a Club World Cup to try and turn the tide for you, which is a job that it seems nobody wanted to come in and do it and had the balls to actually take it on. That's kind of crazy. So, man.
To be realistic, how many coaches give you that option?
No, I just said, like, nobody's going to accept that.
No one.
Nobody.
The only reason he accepted is probably because he's a Juve legend to some degree.
Juve legend, yeah.
I even remember him like talking shit about the previous management. So that's why I thought he wouldn't come, but then I remember it's the previous management, so had no issues. I don't know. It seems like the only logical choice Juve could have made. Anything beneath that is just lower tier managers.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But good on Tudor. That's I think Justin's coming in saying we should give him big respect for this, to be honest. And you're right.
I agree.
You're right. That's a ballsy decision for him on his part. He's got everything like kind of at risk. But
no.
based on what was going on with his career and trying to land a job and not landing anywhere after last season, I mean, this is a way for him to kind of claw back and make an impact and maybe draw something bigger. So he's got a lot to gain too. So let's see how it plays out. It's all going to come down to the matches, and it's going to kick off with Genoa. He is expected to be there tomorrow conducting the training. Watch along for Italy game. You want it? 76% say yes, bring it on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have a watch along for the Azzurri. Hope to see you all there. I'll fire it up and we'll get going. Lex, Rivalry. What'd you find? Nothing?
Okay, the chat also agreed with me that he was a player and then transitioned to coach shortly after. So I don't think he was a player coach. But maybe it was someone else. It's learning time. I don't know.
Someone said he retired and then took the assistant coach role.
You know, I'm going to ask my brother. He would know. I'm going to ask my brother. I'll get back to you guys.
Salernitana. Yeah.
Great club.
Not high on my list of priorities with everything going on in life to follow, but Ribery was kind of this like throwback cool player to kind of come into the league at that time and join them. But Ribery used to piss me right off with the France national side. Speaking of Azzurri and whatnot, France had some epic teams, and the Italy-France thing will never go away. I have friends here close by that support the French national side, so we always used to get into it. And Ribery, my God, this is a guy you like hate unless he's on your team. I feel like he's one of those guys. Did you guys hate him like for France? Like I hated him.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, I hated him.
Me too.
Ribery?
Yeah, I hated
Really?
him.
Yeah, same.
Hated him. I'd love him to be on our side, but I hated him for France.
Well, for France, maybe. I thought he was phenomenal for Bayern. He had a great career. I really appreciated him as a player.
I'm not talking about him as a player. I'm talking about when Italy had to face France, and he's there. He's the guy I hated because of him.
I didn't hate him. I hated facing him.
Facing him, but I also kind of hated his attitude on the pitch and stuff, playing against him. Like he was a prick. He was a prick.
Yeah,
oh man,
I didn't.
But respected him as a player, of course, and whatnot. But he was one of the guys hated Ribery. Hated.
France now has Manuzzi and Rabiot in their midfield. That's a pairing.
Ooh.
Who's got longer hair?
Who's the bigger douche? There's a battle that could take hours to.
It's a crazy midfield pair. That's probably got to be like the most hated for me midfield pairing ever.
You know it's bad when okay. Listen, no disrespect to Uliano, okay? But Uliano doesn't exactly have a wild legacy at Juve or anything like that, okay? But when Uliano laughs at you publicly and goes out on an interview and throws so much shade at you like he did Rabiot, saying, I laugh when people bring up Rabiot and talk about him. He had one good year out of 5, and they acted like he was Zidane and treated him like he was Zidane. Oh my God. Thank you, Uliano. And I can't believe it came from Uliano, but that was that final, you finish smoking the cigarette, you throw it on the ground, and you stomp it, and you just kind of give it that twist. Yeah, Uliano was just twisting the boot into the smoke. Actually, that was tossed out there.
I think it's interesting because there is a story from back in Lippi's days with I don't remember if it's Zidane or Vialli. Maybe it's Vialli, and I'm wrong here. That he told him, listen, I'm going to yell at you in training just to show the other guy that I don't really have a reason to be angry with you, but I am going to yell at you to get everyone in line. That was when Zidane was like considered the best player in the world. Look how the levels have changed. One day you treat Zidane as everyone, the next you treat some garbage like he's Zidane.
Yeah, it was crazy. The chase for Rabiot was just like, what on earth are we doing? And that's where you realize you needed to bring we need to bring some right guys up at the top there for treating this guy like that. And Guendouzi, Lex, big props to your boy Dybala when he pulled out the shin guard right in Guendouzi's face.
Yeah.
Oh,
When he
that
did
was
the
nice.
Scudetto hand
That was
thing
nice.
too, when he was like, "You zero."
Yeah, loved it. Listen, we're gonna wrap things up there with a little Rabiot hate. Our friend Lou is gonna be very, very happy for the closing segment on this show. But hey, Tudor in, Motta. We're just waiting now. It's a countdown to making it official, but all the big guys in on it now. Romano, Di Marzio, Skira, Mirko. It's coming. Yeah, it sucks. And I understand this battle for stability that, fans are fighting internally because we want stability, but it has to be right. And I think no matter how you feel when you look at this thing, it shouldn't be this way. When you have the right guy in place, it won't feel like this. I promise you. Okay? But we need the right guys in place above the coach, above Giuntoli. Right now, this can all go down. This can happen. We could carry on into the summer. But there is a massive magnifying glass right now on that upper management. And fans, it's going to start hitting boiling point. And reactions might happen. We wait to see. What happens, all right? And in the summer, we'll see. Club World Cup? Do we make a stand? Do we make some noise out there? Get Sleepy Ferraro out? Ferraro out signs?
Wait, can we make one of those banners like the Ultras do? Can we make one of those giant posters for those?
Yeah, Luca does nothing. He's got more than enough time to make one up. We'll get Luca to do it.
See? A great coach for you.
See?
There's nothing going on anyway.
Ooh.
It's got nothing going on. We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Scangavino. Scangavino's going to be a Club World Cup too. Oh, yeah. We'll be there. A lot of you reached out. Can't wait to meet a lot of the AJC Army and have a lot of fun. No matter what happens with the games will be a bonus, all right? We're going to have a lot of fun. Lex, Omer, absolute pleasure as always. Today, let's see if the Azzurri can pick up the mood, pick up things and get the job done against the Germans, obviously trying to overturn what happened in the first leg. Good luck and Godspeed, and I'll be with you all live for the watch along. Till our next match for the Bianconeri, it's fino alla fine, Forza Juve. For the Azzurri, it's wake the hell up and take care of business today. Okay? Spalletti. Smokes. Let's go. All right? Ciao tutti. We'll reconvene in about 5 hours' time. Ciao, ciao.